Hello students, welcome to Yupp Master. So in the previous class, while beginning the class, I told you that how to avoid the mistakes and what not to do while studying. Now, in the third thing that you need to know to what to avoid, just listen this thing very carefully. We as a teachers used to ask the students that what inspires you to become a doctor, to appear for the NEET exam, and almost every student is telling the same thing that doctor means a noble profession, it's a good job, and people used to treat you very respectfully in the society, you have great respect, everything is there. Then if all those students have the same inspiration, still we are not seeing all of them getting selected in the medical college. Not all of them are getting the seat. Not all of them getting cleared through NEET to get the medical college. So if the inspiration is same, if the source of inspiration is same for them, means to be a doctor means the respectful or a respected person in the society and everything is fine in the life, then why not all of them are capable of achieving their dream? Why they are not achieving their target? So there are many reasons for that. We are discussing one by one. Here the thing is that what happened to certain group of students, or you can say most of the students, they used to give an excuse that the number of aspirants are much more than the number of seats. But my dear student, remember one thing, how many seats do you need? You need only one. So there is no discussion about the number of seats available and the number of aspirants. Obviously, to achieve something in your life, you need to compete. If you are going to compete in a better way, definitely you are going to achieve it. Still, if anyone is saying, sir, the target is much difficult because I appeared for the exam, but 15 lakh students are giving that exam. The number is huge. The medical seats are not even 1,50,000. So if the number of seats are less than 10%, then how is it possible to get the seat? The thing is, whenever you are comparing the things, that these many number of aspirants and this many number of seats available, in that cases, from here only the deviation starts, from here only distraction starts, from here only disinterest towards your achievement or the target starts. First, stop comparing this thing. Stop comparing yourself with the other students. Compare yourself obviously with self only. Means what you were when you were studying in class 10th, 9th, 8th, and what you are now. What score you have got in the previous exam and what score you are supposed to get in the coming exams. This must be your strategy. So stop comparison. Okay? Because if you are going to compare the things, definitely you are wasting your time, you are wasting your energy in unnecessary things. Be sure about this. Let's begin our preparation for this NEET 2022, my dear students. And here is Sumeet Sharma, and we are studying here Botany. The chapter name is Living World. This is the last and the third class of Living World, where we are going to discuss about the taxonomic aids. In the previous classes that you can simply watch on our Yupp Master app, you can download the DPPs, means the daily practice papers for those topics, as well as you can attempt the weekend exam that is coming on every Sunday, right? So be ready for the class. We are going to start, and remember, I told you that you need to prepare your class notes, and whenever you are preparing your class notes, I advise one thing to you, and that one thing is that do make the notes in such a way that they will look beautiful. Okay, so that you can revise them, you can read them again. Okay, the classroom notes are going to be more helpful as compared to any book, because you can revise in a much faster way from your class notes as compared to the test book. So in advance, good luck to everyone. And here we start our class, and this is what we are going to study. This is Living World. In taxonomic aids we have to study. So listen one thing, when I am taking the class, I need certain tools with me. What are my tools? For example, I am saying that this is one of my tool, that is what? The pen. Clear? The pen is one of my tool. The second kind of tool that I am using is the remote. right? Because I don't need a duster right now, so I need a kind of remote with me. So these are my tools which make my teaching easier, or I can simply say that it is going to help me. The same way a taxonomist is also going to use certain tools for making their work easier. Number two, to make their work in such a way so that they can train other people as well. So the taxonomic aid is the collection of the specimen. Specimen means that particular thing which is required, means the organism sample. Okay, it can be the entire of the organism or maybe the part of the organism. For flowers, or we can say for flowering plants, I can collect the flower, I can collect the leaves or seeds or something like that. So specimen, live or dead, helping in research for identification purpose. Okay, that kind of thing is considered as taxonomic aid. Now why I need to do this? Because without doing proper identification, I am not in a state of one, nomenclature, and obviously classification. So if I don't know the character, I cannot tell about the name, I cannot tell about the grouping of the organism. That's why I need a proper type of identification. Please, regarding these lines, refer the nomenclature topic in the previous class. You can easily find it out. We have written it directly, right? For nomenclature, the identification is necessary. Okay, for classification also, if identification is necessary, in that cases, this collection is going to be very, very important. This collection is going to be much important for us. That's why I am saying that the collection of actual specimen of the plant and animal species is essential and is the prime source of taxonomic studies. Okay, so this is how we can mention that this is the prime source of taxonomic studies, right? So it's easy and simple to understand that why we are discussing about these features. That prime source of taxonomic studies is collection of specimen. Now the question arises that how this collection is made, okay, and who is going to make this collection? A taxonomist or the follower of taxonomist? You can say the students of the taxonomist are going to do this, the research fellows. Okay, they are moving into forest, they are going in wild, and they are searching for different plant, animals, whatever they are getting, so that they can classify them, they can identify them. If identified, what is its name? If name is known, then what is its group? If the name is not known, if characters are totally different from the previous selected ones, in that cases I need to give the name, I need to give the classification. Oh wow, I discovered a new species. Okay, so that's why the collection becomes important. Okay, say for example, if you already know that a fruit is called as apple, you can identify it easily. Same way, if you have the idea that what or how the mango looks like, in that cases no one can fool you about it. No one is going to give you watermelon and calling it as mango. Okay, so it is simple one, the thing which I know already, I can identify it by its name, by its characters, right? I can easily mention or describe about it. But if something is new to me, I definitely look for its name. So that's why I am going to prepare the taxonomic aid. I will search, say for example, a species identified, and that species that I have looked in and I have got it from the wild, I want to know its name. So I must visit certain places or certain people to know its name. Okay, means I may visit to herbarium, botanical garden, maybe museum. If it is animal, I may move to what? Zoological park also, museum, or I may refer to certain kind of description. Okay, so those are called as taxonomic aid. Okay, if I am trying to do taxonomy and if I am not able to identify the name, or I am not able to recognize the name of a particular specimen or the organism, definitely I am going to look for it in any particular reference places. So those reference things are taxonomic aid, remember? So those reference things are called as taxonomic aid. So it is going to help me in researching about the identification whether I have done it correct or not. Okay, so this is how the taxonomic aid starts. Now what are the types of, or what type of taxonomic aids are known to us? So these taxonomic aids are of different types, and here are they, and I am telling you the taxonomic aids are one that I used to tell. This is herbarium. As the name suggests, what? As the name suggests, herb means plant like, right? So a collection of the plant, herbarium. Okay, in detail we will discuss it later. Then second is coming as, the second one is named as museum. Now museum, if you have ever visited museum, it may be like, it may be having certain heritage articles, right? Means the sword of some king or their armature or something like that, or maybe the museum is of living world, means animal museum, plant museum, such kind of things. Or you may see such kind of museum set up in your school as well, in your colleges. Okay, means that certain jars are there, some boxes are there in which different animals are immersed in a solution. Okay, or it may be like some birds like pigeon or other birds may be stuffed and they are kept in a glass box. So those type of things are called as museum, right? The other things, or the other type of example is zoological park. Oh, simply called as zoo. Okay, it is not at all a place of entertainment. It is a place where you can see that what the rhino is eating or how it is eating when it eats. Okay, the same way I can visit it for looking for tiger, leopard and the other animals as well. Now visiting a zoo is a different thing from visiting a wildlife sanctuary or any type of bioreserve. How? Zoo is comparatively a smaller space and often organisms are kept in a smaller or bigger cages. So in those cages it is very often, means their sight is often, is more common. If I am going to visit some tiger reserve or some lion reserve, I may need to visit it repeatedly to see the lion, to see the tiger. But in the zoo, the sight is more easier. So that's why we used to visit the zoo. Okay, that the environment is made just like their home or their natural habitat. And where they are living, they are getting food given by the person, those who are taking care of that zoo. Okay, next is the other type of feature that we can mention is here, that is botanical garden. And if I am going to botanical garden, definitely the garden which is not necessarily to be beautiful. Okay, because the plants are random. You may see that different type of trees, different type of herbs, shrubs are there all around. Some are in the pots, some are in the open grounds, some are many numbers, some are only one or two. So those are botanical gardens actually. Many universities used to set up a botanical garden at a small scale, or some bigger institutions are there across the India. Many botanical gardens are there where you can visit and see the different type of plants. You can say a higher grade of nursery, right? What nursery people used to do, they used to keep the plants usually potted and they are selling them. The botanical garden is a place where the plants are either potted or sown in the ground and then, or grown on the ground, just to conserve them, just to show them that this is the plant, this is the scientific name, this is the common name, and this is usually found in that particular area. We have brought this plant from some other places like this. That is botanical garden. Means for animal if it is zoo, for plants it is botanical garden. Okay, fine. The other thing that I can mention is about obviously description. These are collection of specimen, remember. I am going to collect the specimen. Now the time has changed. People are saying that you need not to bring the animals, you need not to bring the plants from their places, because by doing this you may be threatening them. Reason that you cannot keep the snow leopard in a zoo in Kerala. Okay, so that's why there is a problem. Then how the people in Kerala are going to learn about snow leopard? Now the technology is very fast right now. Much advanced technology is available. They can know the character of snow leopard by watching Net Geo also. Simple. Or they may study different type of books on snow leopard. Everything is available. So certain description of different species can be done, where diagrams or the other figure or photographs can be attached. Okay, that can be either catalog, it can be either monograph, or it may be the name flora, or it may be the place that is called as manual. Okay, so these are the descriptions of a specimen, these four. Whereas another type of taxonomic aid is there that is required or that is used for identification purpose is called as key. Okay, key is what? Key is something which is going to make the thing properly identified, right? Means if anything is given to me and they are asking make the key for it, no, I need at least two. Make the keys for them. So here I am considering the different statements which are going to compare these two things. I am going to make the statements, write the statements which are going to compare these two things. Okay, used for writing one, two, both. Okay, going to the next one. Refillable. This first, refilled, not refilled. Okay, so see the differences. This is how we can make. Same you can do it for the sphere, means a ball and a cone as well, on the basis of number of corners and edges. It's just simple one. Means keys can be made. Okay, on the basis of the character those are present in that particular object or in that particular organism. Fine. So these are the taxonomic aids which we are going to study, right? Okay, one by one. Here comes the first thing, that is called as herbarium. Now what herbarium means, as I told you, what it is for only plants. Let's go for the bookish language first, then we are going to analyze it in a lesser number of words. See here, herbarium is a storehouse of the collected plant specimens that are dried. Collected plant specimens, right? Collected plant specimens that are dried, pressed and preserved on sheets. Now what does it mean by saying preserved? When you are going to dry a plant, what does it mean? Obviously it is going to die. Definitely that plant is going to dry. So that's why we are saying dried, pressed and preserved on sheets. So we are going to keep the dead specimen in herbarium. Okay. And nextly we say that each sheet is called as herbarium, and so many sheets will be made. Each is having different type of plants. So here come the thing. These sheets are arranged according to universally accepted system of classification. Now I need to know this. That what is that system on basis of which the specimen are going to be deposited or to be collected in herbarium. Okay. How they are going to be managed, or how we are going to manage these things. So definitely we need to know this. So here they are saying the label of the sheet. The label of the sheet is going to provide the information regarding the place from where it is collected, the person who collected this, the name in English language, local language and the botanical name of the plant. Okay. First of all, this is done for plants only. Next, secondly, I am saying this is done on a sheet. The sheet is here, is around 41 by 29 centimeters. Okay. On this bottom right side there is a label which is mentioning these things. What? Label which is mentioning what? 1 English name, 2 local name, 3 collector's name, 4 place of collection. Clear? Right? And 6 this one, the scientific name. Sorry, 5 things are there which I am going to mention necessarily on this particular sheet. Now what I am going to keep it here? See here. This is such example. This is an example of a herbarium sheet, or just write herbarium. Clear? So many such sheets are going to get collected and they will form herbaria, and those are going to be kept in one place. Okay, right? So whenever I am going to visit herbaria, I will see that how these plants are and what I have collected, right? This is going to be compared. By this way I can identify whether the plant specimen I have collected from the forest is already identified or not. Is there someone who collected this one from the place? From which place? When? Clear? And what is the name? Everything can be looked for. So that's why I am saying that herbarium will serve as repository for future use. Okay, it is going to serve as repository, the place where you can search for the Choice means you can say you can search for the things or you can deposit your things as well. Say for example, I have identified something which is not at all listed in on any of the herbaria sheet. Then what? Then people will say, oh, just go for the nomenclature classification of this particular species and you are supposed to deposit it with us also. It will be a great honor, right? I am going to deposit it definitely, and then it is going to be reference for the other people. Here I am going to make it as a quick referral system. The new species if I am getting, I am going to deposit that sample to the herbarium sheets, right? So this is why we are calling it as quick referral system. So one is that you can look for the earlier reported specimen, you can deposit the newly discovered specimen also. This is the second, right? This is the significance of herbarium. Okay, but one doubt, as I am going to do this thing, means what? It is like first doing the collection, then doing what? Drying in the sun, then going to poison. Why poison? Because I want to avoid any type of fungal or any type of infection on this particular sample, right? Or else it will get decomposed easily. So I want to avoid these things. Okay, so nextly coming about these things, that what to be done next or what is required. The next thing that I need after poisoning is I need to press them, and be careful because you have used a poison on it. Which poison? Mercury chloride or corrosive sublimate, HgCl2. After poison I am going to press it, then I am going to mount on the sheet, then I am going to label it. In brief, I have mentioned the steps what to be done while making a herbarium sheet. Okay, remember the significance, how it is useful, because it is going to serve as a quick referral system. Why? Because quick referral system means I am going to deposit a new specimen there. Okay, it is repository for future use. Why? Because I can go and look for the already identified specimens, right? This is about herbarium. Remember one thing in the mind, they told us that the specimen sheets are going to be arranged in universally accepted classification system. Okay, this we had to deal with. The second type of collection is called as museum. Now there is a difference. Remember one thing, that I visited Shimla, and Shimla was having so many pine trees, right? In hilly areas you will find the pine trees or the cedrus trees which are bearing some cone type of structures on them. Now just imagine you can press the flower, right? No problem with it. It can, means flower is like this. When you are going to dry it, you can press it, you can keep it in the books. So it is not at all any problem. But if you are going to crush the cone, what will happen to the cone? It is going to be completely destroyed. The structure can't be kept intact by pressing. So that's why those cones cannot be collected in museum. Now secondly, can you keep any algae or any aquatic plant in the herbarium sheet, right? So we are saying no, it is not at all possible. Why? Because when we are considering any type of algae, dried means nothing. Aquatic plant, nothing will be there. So what to do, how to keep them intact? So we are going to keep them in the museum. So cones, aquatic plants or algae, they are kept in museum, okay, in a different way. So museum is the place where those things can be placed along with animals as well. Means what form of animals? If you have seen any stuffed animal, okay, that particular type of thing, or any other kind of case. See, museum have collection of preserved, again preserved. So dead are preserved, not the living. Preserved plant and animal specimen for study and reference. Clear? So how they are explaining this, right? Some of the animals in the bottles or the jars filled with the preservative solution formalin, okay, or the insects are kept in a box by pinning them. They are killed and then pinned in a box. Box is getting covered with a glass, right? So you can observe them very clearly. Not only this, we have the other ways as well. First of all, so here we are saying that the specimen are preserved in containers or jars in preservative solution. What solution it is? As I said, it is formalin, diluted form of formaldehyde. Preserved as dry specimen, or you can keep them as dry as well, depends. Insects are preserved in insect boxes after collecting, killing and pinning. So it is about the insects, it is about the plants, animals, everything you can keep. Okay, so here they are saying the larger animals like what? Birds, mammals are stuffed. Stuffed means like this way. You can keep the leopard like this. Okay, this is stuffing. You may see such kind of stuffing of pigeon and the other birds in your school laboratory as well. You can call it as a museum in that case, right? Museums are set up in educational institutions, animal and plant museums, or preserved. Museums often have collection of skeleton of animals too, right? They may have skeleton as well. You can keep the fossils there in the museum. So museum is different from herbarium. Why? Both of them have dead, right? Both of them can have plant specimen, dead plant specimen. The difference is it can have animal specimen as well. Okay, museum differs from herbarium because it can have the animal specimen as well, plus those plant types which cannot be pressed or dried to be placed in herbarium. Okay, this is how the museum is going to be different. Fine. The next thing, it is about the botanical garden. So there are different botanical garden in India, right? Some of the examples of the botanical garden in India and around the world which are famous, we are going to mention few of them, not all, just few of them. What is botanical garden actually? I just visited a place, find a good type of plant, and I wanted it to be in my house, right? So I tried to get the seeds or the cuttings or something by what I can propagate that plant in my garden. Okay, the same can be done at the level of, or you can say at a higher level for education and research purpose. That is a botanical garden. So here we say this specialized garden have collection of live plants for reference. And remember, these live plants are often from outside the habitat. Means it can be considered as a kind of ex situ conservation. Of species, right? It is often as ex situ conservation of species. So this is how we can mention it. Nextly, the plant species in these gardens are grown for identification purposes and each plant is labeled indicating its botanical or scientific name and its family. Okay, a short description is mentioned with the plants. So there are certain good examples of botanical gardens. You must know their name, that what are they or where they are located. I must tell about these names, right? So here are the names then. One is Main Botanical Garden, the biggest one in the world. Main Botanical Garden, this is in Moscow. The other is Royal Botanical Garden. This is in Kiev, England. In India, Indian Botanical Garden. That is where it is Howrah. If Howrah is not given in the option, you can go for Kolkata then. National Botanical Garden at NBRI, Lucknow. One is Lloyd. Botanical Garden, Darjeeling. Next is the other one. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 5, this is 6th. The next one that we can conduct, or this can be discussed, is this. Here it is. FRI, Forest Research Institute, Botanical Garden. This is in Dehradun. So these are the examples of botanical gardens, right? So here, this is botanical garden. Botanical garden for plant only, it means. What about the animals? So animals are kept in zoological parks. When we are talking about zoological parks, we used to visit the zoological park for understanding the behavior of animals, what they are eating or when they are eating. Like this means the behavior of the animals and their eating patterns, something like that. So here is the thing, they are kept in human care. Remember this. First of all, the animals are kept in human care. Number 2, protected environment. Most of the time we are trying to keep them in the environment which is much similar to their natural home. This is our criteria, right? So here they are saying to enable to learn about their food habits, their behavior. These things I want to learn from the animals in the zoological park or simply as zoo. Okay, right. After zoological parks comes the description, but before going to the description, I must say that let's do a comparison. I did the collection of actual specimen, the specimen. I made an actual collection of specimen, right? In 2 ways, actual collection of dead specimen of live specimen. 2 different things. Okay, so where I am going to keep these one which are dead specimen. So the dead specimen, here it is, plants only, right? Plants only, and the other case, plants, animals, cones, fossils, right? Plants, animals, cones, fossils, skeleton, etc. The dead specimen are what? Preserved or conserved? Preserved. If I am considering these, the plants only in herbarium, and plants, animals, cone, fossils, skeleton, etc. in museum. One more significance, the herbarium is referring to, is based on morphological characters, remember. Right, it is based on morphological characters, or you can call it as alpha taxonomy or classical taxonomy. Okay, alpha taxonomy or classical taxonomy. So that is the simple one. The museum, if we are talking about museum, then set up in educational institutions. Of live specimen, the collections of the live specimen. Collection of live specimen will be like this. Of plants, of animals. What is done? Conservation. Not preservation, I will rather write conservation. Ex situ conservation. Conservation outside habitat. Of plants, of animals. In that cases the names will be, for plants I will write botanical garden. For animals I will write what? zoological parks. That's it. Simple. A specimen. So I did a comparison among the 4 that we have studied so far on the basis of the actual specimen collection is either of dead or the live samples. So those dead or live samples can be therefore categorized in these ways. Fine. The next will be about the descriptions now. Means, see, the technology is becoming advanced and the people are saying that you need not to collect the plant, you need not to collect their leaves or flowers or something, you need not to hunt the tiger to get it collected in the museum, to get it identified, right? You can write the characters in a descriptive manner, plus you can have the pictures, you can click the pictures, you can make a videos now. Clear? We have all the things. If someone has not seen the snow leopard in real, they can see it on the Net Geo, Animal Planet, Discovery, so many things are there. Okay, Google can show the images. So it means as the technology is getting advanced, they are saying you need not to explore in the wild for identification purpose only. If you are doing the research, then it's fine. Okay, for identification purpose, you need not to go for such type of things, herbarium, botanical garden or something like that. So the time has changed. They are saying we are going to give the description for the complete identification, and that description can be in the name of, or you can have these examples like this. The first is flora. As the name suggests, it is only about what? Plant. The flora word means for plants only. That's the reason, right? That a book containing information as to the habitat, the climate, the seasonal changes, the distribution, description and index of plants found in a specific area. Okay, one thing is sure, what? These all species of plants which are going to be described in the flora, like what? Flora of New Delhi, means I have studied all those specimens in New Delhi area. Okay, means I am not saying that those plants are not at all there outside Delhi, but I made my study, or I confined my study in the region of New Delhi. Okay, so that's why it means these all are such species belong to same topography, means the geographical conditions are same for them. After looking for these things, season, climate and everything, it means they have the same topography, right? So this is what we are mentioning. Remember, when flora is getting described, or we are saying that plants are getting described in flora, at that time also the order of describing the specimen is same, which is accepted universally. Just what? Herbarium like. Just like herbarium. Okay, fine. Keep this thing in the mind. This is for the second time when we are saying that the described species are according to the universal accepted classification system. The second type of description is called as manual, and for manual we used to say the book containing the instructions to occurrence, the collection, identification of the species found in a particular area. So one thing is very clear, it is not only about plant or animal, it is about either plants or animals. It is about either plants or animals. Secondly, found in a particular area, means maybe different places. Maybe different places. You can just say the author has written flora of 6 different places. Now he want to make a selected work, means 10-15 plants from one book, 10-15 from the other. The third book he is taking 20 samples, like this way. So that will be called as manual, a collection only. The collection which need not to be the species of the same area or the same climate. Maybe, maybe not. You can mention the place separately, or you can have the samples studied at different places, different times. So remember one thing again about the manual, here also the description of the specimen is done in the same way as we did in herbarium, as we did recently with flora. Means universally accepted system of classification is followed to keep the specimen, okay, or to describe the specimen, right? Where in herbarium, in flora, in manual, and in monograph also. Mono means one. When single taxon is getting described, it can be genus, it can be family, then it is called as monograph. Then it is called as monograph, right? Be clear about this. What I said, it is a treatise having all the information about a particular taxon like family or genus. Now, irrespective of the place, obviously, you are not at all getting all the plants of the same genus in different in the same place. It is possible you are getting 2 or 3 species of the same genus at one place, the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th type of species or the same plant in some other places. It is possible, okay. So that's why you need to explore, okay. It is in a broader term, right? Next thing, if this is done, then I need to differentiate these. What? That this is going to be catalog, but before that I need to discuss about that how we are going to explain the things according to universally accepted system. The universally accepted system says that those who are more similar should be described or kept together or closer in the herbarium or described accordingly in flora, manual, monograph. Those which have more dissimilarity must be kept separately. I'll give you one such example. Here is such an example here. See, very quick look, fast just, okay. See, here I am saying that I have taken what? Potato. I am going to change the companion, right? Potato and potato. I am going to change the companion here. And if I am changing the companion, then see this, potato with McCoy. The scientific name of potato is Solanum tuberosum. McCoy is Solanum nigrum. Means they both are belonging to same genus, right? Then I am saying other, potato and datura. Then potato and sweet potato. Next comes potato and mango. Next comes potato and maize. Now wait. I need to check that who is having more affinities. The universally accepted system of classification which is to be applied on keeping the specimen in a herbarium, in flora, in monograph and in the manual, right? It must follow what? Affinities. See, if I am moving from this pair to this pair, potato to McCoy side, clear? I am observing that affinities are getting lesser. Why so? Here see this thing. How I can say this thing? The members which are sharing a lower taxa or the lower category, if they are sharing lower taxon or lower category, definitely they have more resemblances. And find out that who is sharing the lowest category here? The last one. The last one is sharing the lowest category. Here I say, these are following same genus. If the genus same, family, order, class, division, kingdom all are same. These are following same family. These are following same order. Polymoniales. Okay. This is same class, dicotyledonnae. This is same division, angiospermae. Let me write those names, okay. Same genus. Which one? Solanum. Same family. Which one? Solanaceae. Same order. Polymoniales. Same class. dicotyledone, same division, angiospermae or anthophyta. So sharing of higher taxon means difficult to establish the relationship between them. It is very difficult to establish relationship between potato and maize as compared to potato and makoi. Okay, so here I can write with regard to the example as well, and that universal type of thing also, that what I need to mention separately. Higher the taxon shared, more difficult to establish the relationships. Or classification is getting complex. So by this example I have learned one more thing, that in herbarium or flora, monograph, manual, I am going to keep potato along with makoi, not with the potato with maize. Depends if I have studied these samples. If I have studied these sample, I must keep in this order. But potato, makoi, then datura, then sweet potato, then mango, then maize. Right? This must be the order. Okay? This must be the order. If I am going to keep this pair 1, this 2, this 3, this 4, then this 5. In that cases, in herbarium or herbaria you can say, flora, manual, monograph, okay, in these places where I am saying where specimen are placed or described in universally accepted system, the order must be potato, then makoi, then I will keep datura, then I will keep sweet potato, then I am going to keep what, mango, and then lastly what, maize. Okay, this must be the way. Be clear where these, right? I hope this is simple. So you have that chance that you can ask your doubt if you have any through our 24/7 doubt solving, or ask a question on our platform Yupp Master. Okay, you can go for that one also. You can solve the books, you can ask the question outside the DPP as well. This is available for the Yupp Master students, right? So here coming to the next one, after the monograph, now the specimen are getting described in their alphabetical order, not in the affinities. Say a layman, means a person who is not at all knowing about that how to search for the name. He got a book just like a dictionary or just like an index, and he is looking for the name just in the order of what? Their names. Okay, not the affinities. That is called as catalog. The list or register that enumerates methodically all the species found in a particular place, often with B description aiding identification. Remember, it is in alphabetical order. Okay, so that type of thing is called as catalog. The next thing is about key. Now what is key actually? Not the key and lock. Here key means the thing which is going to be useful, and as I told you that you can make the keys of different articles available to you. Say here I have this thing with me and I am calling this as cone. Why? And I have another article with me and I am calling this something like what? A cuboidal type of thing. Now the two are definitely different. How? What type of thing you can use here? You can use the number of corners, edges as the basis, right? You can use the corners and edges as the basis. You can write for them. So those will serve as the key. What? The number of corner and the number of edges will serve as the key for differentiating these two items A and B. After this, I can state them either as cone or cuboidal or something like that. Getting my point? Okay, this is what key means. So key is going to be those characters which are present, not absent, in at least in one of the sample given. Then I will do a comparison with the other. So definitely key is going to be a set of contrasting statements. So many. Here I have written 2. You can increase their number. It depends on our skill, our experience, that how many keys you can create for the given specimens. Okay. So here is the thing. List of characters and their alternates. Here it is. Which are helpful in identification. Remember, keys are analytical in nature. So if keys are analytical in nature, in that cases, list of characters and their alternates which are helpful in identification. Okay. Coming to this, the pair of contrasting statement is called couplet. Contrasting statement, couplet. Okay. Here coming. And the individual statement as lead. Fine. These are analytical in nature. Number nextly, I can use the keys for both plants and animals. Can be used for plants and animals. Wait, if I have compared these two things, the keys are different. If I am going to compare something else, means if I have something else to define, then I must make new keys. The same old keys are of no use. Now the articles are different. Definitely keys will change. Okay. So in that cases we say keys will be separately created for different combination or different taxa. Okay, at every level, obviously. Means if I am comparing at class level, those keys will be different. If I am going to compare the organisms at genus level, you cannot consider the same set of statements for the two type of things. So these are the things that we need to know about the taxonomic aid, and we are in the conclusion of the topic or the chapter name called living world. The living world told us about make us understand the difference between the living and non-living. We have studied the defining feature of living. We noticed the changes, we noticed the things that which are present in living, non-living both, and which are unique to living beings, and how the living beings are becoming different from time to time, means we can say evolution. Although evolution is going to be a separate chapter for you people in the next year's syllabus, or you can say in the other chapters you are going to read about evolution. Here we are studying the diverse forms. Okay, the biology means the two things, the evolution of life, and the number 2, the life forms. So life forms here we are going to deal. The next topic is obviously related much to this one, that is called as biological classification. So this is how our syllabus is going on. We have completed morphology of flowering plants, we have completed living world so far. We are heading towards the next topic, biological classification. Hope you people are enjoying our classes and you are solving the all type of things which are required, the practice papers, the other books which are available with you. You are going through the NCERT reading as well. Here is our suggestion that you must download the Yupp Master app so that you can watch the previous videos which you have missed for the same topic. You can watch it at a comfort of your home whenever you can, whenever you are free. So this is an advantage of online platforms, but this is more advantageous because we have certain curriculum followed with test papers and their analysis. Thank you for watching Yupp Master. Stay safe at your home. All the best. Thanks a lot.